Welcome back to the channel Coins Collector everyone to another exciting deep dive into the fascinating world of rare coins and hidden treasures. Today, we are unlocking the story behind one of the most talked about and truly remarkable coins in United States history. At first glance, it may look like nothing more than a simple penny, a coin we see and use every single day, but do not be fooled. This small copper-colored piece of metal carries a story of mystery, history, and enormous value. Yes, I am talking about the Liberty 1-cent coin from 1985, a coin that has shocked collectors and historians alike, and one that in today's market has reached an astonishing value of $433,000. That's right, a single penny that most people would overlook on the street could actually be worth more than a luxury home, a sports car collection, or even a lifetime of financial security. Now imagine this. You reach into your pocket for change and you pull out what looks like an ordinary 1985 Lincoln cent. The coin feels light, familiar, nothing unusual. But in the eyes of experts, certain rare errors and minting characteristics of this very coin have transformed it from everyday spare change into one of the most desirable and valuable pieces of U.S. coinage circulating today. That alone is enough to make you stop and wonder how many of these might still be hiding in coin jars, old wallets, or forgotten piggy banks around the country. But let us step back in time and uncover the roots of this coin. The 1985 Liberty 1 cent belongs to the Lincoln Memorial Cent series, a continuation of the design first introduced in 1959 to honor the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The obverse side, featuring the familiar profile of Lincoln, had been a staple on American pennies since 1909, making it the longest-running coin design in U.S. history. By 1985, the Lincoln cent was still being struck in massive numbers at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints, transitioning from a predominantly copper composition to the copper-plated zinc alloy that we know today. This change in material made pennies lighter, cheaper to produce, and far more prone to minting errors that would later become gold mines for collectors. What makes the 1985 issue particularly intriguing is not just its circulation, but the errors and variations that came out of that production year. Certain coins displayed double dies, off-center strikes, and other unusual imperfections that dramatically increased their rarity and value. In the world of numismatics, rarity combined with condition equals extraordinary worth, and the 1985 Liberty 1 cent has delivered both in unexpected ways. Collectors across the globe have been hunting for high-grade examples of this coin, especially those that remain in pristine mint state condition. As supply dwindles and demand skyrockets, the market value of the finest examples has soared. While most 1985 pennies are still worth face value or only slightly more, the rarest versions, with perfect condition or dramatic minting errors, have been auctioned for unbelievable amounts. Recently, one such coin shook the market when it sold for $433,000, a record-breaking price that stunned both seasoned experts and casual collectors. Think about that for a moment. A coin minted for just 1 cent, a piece of change meant to pass from hand to hand in everyday transactions, has now reached nearly $500,000 in value. It is a powerful reminder of how history, rarity, and human fascination with collecting can transform the simplest objects into priceless treasures. So in today's video, we will journey into the complete history of the 1985 Liberty 1 cent coin. We will explore why this penny stands out from the millions that were struck, what specific details to look for if you ever come across one, how its value has evolved over the decades, and most importantly, why this single cent is now regarded as one of the crown jewels of modern U.S. coinage. Get ready, because what you are about to discover may change the way you look at every penny that crosses your path. And who knows, by the end of this video, you might just feel inspired to dig through your old coin jars and take a closer look, because hidden inside could be your very own ticket to hundreds of thousands of dollars. Today we are going to uncover the fascinating story behind the 1991 United States Liberty 1 cent coin, a coin that many people overlook but one that carries with it not only an amazing history but also a shocking collector's value that has stunned numismatists and coin hunters around the world. Imagine holding what seems to be just another penny, a single cent from over 3 decades ago, only to discover that it could actually be worth as much as $263,000 in today's collector's market. That is not just pocket change, that is life-changing money, and that is why this episode is going to keep you on the edge of your seat. So sit back, relax and get ready to explore how an ordinary-looking penny became an extraordinary piece of American history and one of the most talked-about coins in modern circulation. History of the 1991 Liberty 1-cent coin. The 1991 Liberty 1-cent coin belongs to the long and proud Lincoln cent series that began in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Since then, the Lincoln penny has become one of the most recognizable and widely used coins in America. By the early 1990s, the coin had already seen changes in metal composition, design refinements, and minting technology. The 1991 issue continued to carry the famous bust of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse designed by Victor David Brenner, a design that has stood the test of time for well over a century. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial stood proudly, symbolizing national unity, strength, and the enduring legacy of one of America's greatest leaders. What makes the 1991 penny fascinating is not just its design but its place in U.S. monetary history. In 1982, the U.S. Mint shifted from producing pennies primarily out of copper to a copper-plated zinc composition, drastically lowering the production cost. By 1991, every 1-cent coin was being minted with this modern composition, weighing just 2.5 grams instead of the heavier 3.11 grams of the older bronze pennies. That change was subtle to the average citizen but monumental in terms of numismatic significance. Collectors began paying closer attention to small details like mint marks, die varieties, and striking errors. As a result, certain 1991 pennies emerged as extremely rare due to minting mistakes, double die strikes, or unusual features that set them apart from millions of common coins. Rarity and collector value. While most 1991 Lincoln cents are worth just 1 cent, or at best a few dollars in uncirculated condition, there exists a tiny handful of rare examples that command astronomical prices at auction. These coins are highly sought after because of their pristine condition, unusual minting features, or extremely limited survival. One of the most famous varieties is the 1991 Lincoln cent in flawless mint state condition with unique striking qualities. In today's collector market, one of these coins has reached a value of an astonishing $263,000, shocking both casual collectors and seasoned experts. The reason behind such sky-high prices is rooted in the principle of rarity, condition, and demand. A coin can circulate for decades, but if only a few exist in gem-quality condition or with a specific error that makes them unique, their value skyrockets. Collectors all over the world compete fiercely to own such treasures because they are not only tangible pieces of money but also artifacts of history that represent a bygone moment in America's economic story. The thrill of possibly discovering one of these coins in your own change is what fuels the excitement of coin hunting and keeps the numismatic community alive and thriving. Current market worth. As of today, the 1991 Liberty 1-cent coin in its rarest form has been valued at $263,000. Making it one of the most astonishing 1-cent coins in circulation to ever achieve such a price. Think about that for a moment. A coin that originally represented the smallest denomination of American currency has transformed into an item of immense worth, comparable to the price of luxury cars, dream vacations, or even a down payment on a beautiful home. Its story is proof that even the most ordinary objects can carry extraordinary potential, and that the treasures of history sometimes hide in plain sight.